Hello, Art.
Hi there, can you hear me?
Yeah, this time you're doing good.
Okay. Well, I've made some changes. Okay. I was having trouble with Zoom on the last couple of times, and I had gone to the most recent Zoom version,
Right.
and I had also gone to the most recent version of Linux Mint. And that combination apparently didn't like itself or something or another. So right now I'm working with an older version of Zoom. It's maybe two versions back.
Okay.
And I'm working with Ubuntu, and knock wood, it appears to be working okay. So
Huh.
I got it to the point where something was working, and I said, now's the time to stop.
Just
Okay.
it works. Just leave it alone.
Yes. It works. Don't tune it.
Uh,
So,
well,
uh,
I don't know because I upgraded Linux Mint at the exact same time that you did, and I didn't seem to have any problem with it. So,
I don't know what it is. There's something else configured someplace or another that causes problems. So,
yeah.
on a completely unrelated subject, I'm seeing a lot of stuff on YouTube these days about something called mesh tech or
Meshtastic.
mesh. Me- well, that's easy for
Blah,
you to
blah,
say.
blah. Yeah.
What the hell is it? Is it important? And should I be interested in it?
Okay. Those are all loaded questions. Well, maybe not the what is it question, but the other questions are kind of loaded questions.
Well, yeah, is this something that is useful to me? I guess is
Maybe. So what it is an off network mesh sort of situation using I don't have one sitting around using common off the shelf ESP32s and LoRa devices.
okay.
The creator of Meshtastic knows way more about how LoRa works than anybody else, probably. But he figured out that, if you have one here right at the edge and one here, this one can act as a repeater. So if you wanted to send a message to somebody that is 4 or 5 hops away, you could probably get to the guy that's in between the two people. And that guy can take your message, hold on to it for a few seconds, repeat it to another guy who may or may not need to repeat it to a third guy. But the mesh part of it is self healing and self actualized. So if one of the nodes drops out for whatever reason, another node could pick up in its place.
Okay.
So the more nodes, basically, the more nodes, the wider the coverage area.
Okay.
Um, you know, what is Laura? Laura is 4 or 5 miles distance on almost no power.
Okay.
So, if you could saturate an area with, well, maybe not saturate, but if you could put a bunch of nodes within the 5 mile radius, you could spread that radius out and continue to spread it out. Um,
Okay.
So that's basically what Meshtastic does. Now, Meshtastic is more or less a chat program. So, if you know somebody 30 miles away from you and you want to talk to him, but you don't want to call him on the phone, you can just text him on the device and let it relay out. It kind of sort of works like APRS, if you know what APRS is. Um,
Mm,
it's a little bit different, but it kind of sort of works that way. Um, you can send uh telemetry data like weather information and uh that sort of update, GPS and all that. There's a little map app that can show you where other nodes are in relation to you. Um, and there's a way to disable that if you don't want to share your location. But um, that's basically what it is. So is it useful to you? Eh,
well, have you ever used it is the question.
I have, um, for my own personal use. There's not so many nodes that I can connect to. There's quite a few nodes in Dayton, but I'm too far away to hit them. So I had I had considered putting a couple of nodes up here in Franklin and just waiting for the mesh to get out this way. But
Well, how would you put up other nodes?
so the LoRa devices. Hi, Steve, by the way.
No,
Hello,
hi, Steve.
greetings.
The LoRa devices come in different flavors, obviously. So you can get one that doesn't have a screen on it. You can turn it into strictly a repeater. Then you get a decent 900 megahertz antenna, and you either stick that antenna up on your roof or you stick the entire node up on your roof. And
Okay.
basically, it starts sending out, hey, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, waiting for other nodes to connect to it.
Yeah, but if you're in the middle of the desert, okay.
You need at least two. And
And leave
Okay.
a line of them behind you.
yes, yes, if you're out in the desert and there's nobody else around doing it, it's pretty useless.
Okay. So
Now
are these are
that being said, out in the desert, there's no buildings and stuff to obstruct, so you're probably going to get closer to 10 or 15-mile range.
okay.
But
Now are these just text messages that you are transferring?
well, like I said, you can send weather data, you can send GPS location, you can send other telemetry, but yes, generally it's text messaging.
Okay.
So,
So we're talking very low effective bandwidth.
correct,
Okay.
correct. And there have been several projects that have offshot from Meshtastic to solve a few issues that Meshtastic has when there's oversaturation, because the network can slow down if there's too many people connected to it. So
Okay.
a guy in uh, London had put up probably close to 200 nodes, and then he had other nodes connecting to it. And he realized that with that many nodes connecting and everybody trying to use it at once, the network either crashed or just was very, very slow. So
So how does he physically do this? Does he go around and stick these little guys on telephone poles or what?
well, I guess it depends on the municipality or whatever you're in, but you have to get permission to Just like if you wanted to stick a repeater somewhere up on a water tower or something, you need to get permission to do that. So,
Okay. But the point is they're located physically removed from one another.
yes. And
Okay.
they're roughly somewhere between, well, it depends on the saturation, but somewhere between 3 and 5 miles seems to be the optimal range. And like I said, the mesh itself is self-healing, so if one of them drops out, another one should pick up the slack.
Okay.
So
There's
it
one
is,
about 1,000 feet from me on a cell tower nearby.
yeah.
So
It's
some private person put one up on a cell tower?
I don't know. Just if you look at the image, it's right there next to the cell tower. And I've been over there and I don't see anything that isn't on the cell tower. The bandwidth is so low, it's hard to triangulate where they are, but they're supposed to be mapped out.
Okay.
you can put in with the map, you could put what do they call it? It doesn't show the exact location. It shows you within like a mile of where you're at or whatever.
Okay.
Um, because privacy and all that other stuff. Or you could say, I want it to show exactly where it's at. But I bet if you look at that cell tower, I bet there's ham radio equipment up there, and I bet a ham had already gotten permission to put tower a repeater up there,
Could be.
or at least antennas. So he just shoved a node up there too while he was at it.
And 900 megahertz is pretty small antenna,
Yeah, you
with
won't see it.
20 centimeters.
Well, he probably has one of the good 900 megahertz tower. You might antenna. You might be able to see it, but you wouldn't be able to distinguish it from any of the other antennas that are up there. So, I mean, I would bet there's half a dozen antennas up on that.
Oh, yeah.
So,
So, quick question. For me, the bottom quarter of my screen appears to be flashing.
yes,
Is
it
it doing?
does.
Okay. I'm going to log out and log back in. I'll be right back.
All right.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's just a little strip across the bottom of his screen.
Zoom. Gotta love Zoom.
Yeah.
But the guy in London, like I said, he realized that the more nodes you connect, the slower Meshtastic gets. So he forked Meshtastic and improved on it and created his own thing. And now he's got a mix of his own thing and Meshtastic nodes. So he's trying to get everybody in London to switch to his thing just to prove that it's better than Meshtastic. If that makes any kind of sense.
Well, some of the articles on YouTube were talking about the fact that it would work even if ordinary Wi-Fi went down and so forth and so on.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how that. I mean,
Well, because it's using LoRa and it's 900 megahertz. Here in the States, it's 900 megahertz. So, it's not using cell towers. It's not using the internet. It can use the internet, but it's not using that as a direct means of communication. It's more or less a local deal that, the more nodes, the wider the local area.
so these nodes are self-sufficient. They have their own power supply. They have.
Most of the time, that would be true.
Okay.
Especially if you're trying to make a repeater or putting up that kind of node. you could just plug into a computer and use it, but if I had a repeater, I would probably have at least solar power backup to the battery, so it would charge the battery while it's sitting out on
Okay.
the pole. But it's basically an ESP32. So, it's like
Yeah.
that. That's not a LoRa device, but it's like that with an extra antenna.
Hmm.
And that's basically what it is. And the ones that people would carry around with them and get messages on have screens on them, and the ones that would be used as a repeater or just a dumb node don't need the screen. And there's an app up for your phone, so you can get the app on the phone. You can connect it to the Bluetooth of one of these ESP32s, and it would show everything that the node sees and does.
So the last mile or the last 10 feet or whatever is Bluetooth.
Well, not necessarily, but it could be. I understand the confusion because there's so many options to it. I mean,
Well, what I'm trying to figure out is what is the physical process that's going on here? There's got to be an electromagnetic connection of in some protocol, and
hang on. Oh, I disappeared. I'm back.
okay.
You remember when I bought these card computers from M5?
Yeah, I think that was a while ago.
That was a while ago. So I did for a little bit. I was going to use a LoRa device with this. This device here would not need to connect to the phone at all because it's
Okay.
got a keyboard, it's got the screen, it's got a little speaker. So when I get a message, it goes beep, beep, beep. So I could type in my response, hit the send key, and it would zox it back off to another node.
Now, are these broadcasts or specifically targeted
Yes,
responses?
it depends.
Okay.
So if I knew your node number, specifically your node number, I could send you specifically a message. It would still propagate across the network to get to you, but nobody else would need to see it. Until it
So,
got to your node, then you would get a little message that goes beep, beep, beep.
so the nodes are identified in some way, like a IP address or
MAC
something.
address or something, yeah.
MAC address. Okay.
Um, or the MAC address of the LoRa board or something. Yes, they're identifiable. And
Okay. They're uniquely identifiable.
I
I mean,
haven't heard of any that weren't, but I suppose you could clone one so that it wouldn't be as unique.
well, MAC addresses, for example, are unique. IP addresses on any given network are unique.
It's not. I know it's not an IP address, and I want to say it's a MAC address, but I think it's more than that. I think there's another component to the addressing scheme.
Okay. Steve is back. Let's see
But
if he's still got the stripe.
to make it even more complicated, there are individual chat rooms inside a mesh. I don't see the
Okay.
stripe.
The
But
stripe's
oh,
gone.
nope. I just saw it.
Where? Oh, yeah.
God, I hate Windows.
Is is this Windows you're using?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
My Linux box is perfect with Zoom.
But
By the way, the stripe appears to vary in width.
yeah, it does. It kind of sometimes it's real little and sometimes it's
Yeah.
a quarter of the screen.
I don't know. I use the same microphone and camera and everything on my Linux box, and it just works.
Well, you already
Well,
said the key. It's Windows. That's your problem.
it looks like it's acoustic. So when the sound gets louder, it gets wider. That's my little observation from limited data.
Okay. Test 1, 2, test.
Oh, now it was perfect.
1, 2, 3 didn't do anything.
Art's mic is messing with my camera.
Okay.
It's probably it might be me. Oh, row, 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 row. So our the the mesh also has chat rooms, and the chat rooms are public chat rooms, so you could just talk directly to and it kind of acts like our IRC, if you remember the old IRC.
Okay.
Um,
Yes.
so there's multiple ways to send a message. So it's an interesting idea, but until there's more nodes around me, it's pretty useless.
Well, it sounds like unless you've got somebody with a node within 3 miles of you, you are basically the equivalent of being out in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, well, and 3 miles inside of a city is probably a good range. But if you were out a little bit further, you probably could get a little bit better range out of it. And of
So
course,
it's
that
900 and how many megahertz?
it's in the US, it's supposed to be 915.
915. Okay.
So, um,
Which is used for a lot of odd little sensors otherwise, temperature sensors and low bandwidth stuff. I've
yeah,
got a set of thermometers, one in the freezer, one in the refrigerator, that are 915 megahertz.
yeah, and um, there's a small portion of that particular band that is part of shared with the hams too. So you could actually use Meshtastic down in the ham portion and just talk to hams off of it. But you got to change the frequency that it's using and whatnot.
So this is an unlicensed band. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. What do they call that? ISM, industrial, scientific, and
Well,
medical.
ISM is, there are a number of ISM bands. But
This is one of those. Look, very low power. Um, I think the biggest mesh or the biggest LoRa board is like half a watt or something. Most of them are less than that. So but you can get an amplifier for them though. They sell China sells amplifiers for them. It's nice of them to sell us stuff that we're not supposed to use.
I was going to say,
But
the
yeah,
inscrutable East.
you know, what we don't know won't hurt us, or maybe.
I'm not sure about that. Seems to me COVID certainly took a big hole. So,
Yeah.
well, for example, an example of ISM that I'm very familiar with is I have a bunch of little temperature sensors, rain gauges, so forth and so on. And they talk to their hub or their display unit. A lot of them at 433.92 megahertz. And they do that with a relatively simple pulse modulation kind of a thing. There's also a band, I think, and that's an ISM band. There's also one down at 333 or something like that. And they're also used for garage doors. They're used for the transmitting the pressure data from your tire pressure monitoring and so forth and so on. And I've got SDR set up with those and basically just record all the stuff in the local area.
Yeah.
And the advantage of that is that unlike Wi-Fi, they're not power hogs. They'll operate off of a couple of not D cells, AA and AAA batteries for like a year. So they're great for that.
Well, this one I've got on the screen operates off of a what is that? The big one, 68. The big battery. 665 850 or
these are cylindrical
18650.
18650. Yeah. That one will operate forever as long as you turn the screen off when you don't want to use it.
Looks like a good use for one of the e-ink displays.
Yeah, well, they actually started making Lily Godio actually started making them with e-ink, and OLED was pretty good for a while. Of course, you could desolder that OLED screen too, and not use it. But that one I was showing, that one would have to connect to your phone, so you could see all the well, you could see your messages on it, but you couldn't respond to it because there's no keyboard. So you could use your phone as the keyboard.
Okay.
So there are a number of possibilities. Those things used to be 20 some odd dollars too, and look at it's listed at 64. So I'm glad I bought a few when I bought a few.
Why did they go up in price?
Tariffs?
Oh, our favorite subject, tariffs. Yes.
Not my favorite subject.
Yeah, right. I didn't think that any of the tariffs were actually in place because Oh boy, Steve, your flash is coming back, and it's wider.
The
Hmm.
they it, they are the tariffs are here, but
Well, they kept delaying them. You know, they put them off 30 days or 90 days
yeah.
or whatever.
Well, everybody finally caught up, and AliExpress and M5 finally figured out how to ship stuff to the United States dealing with tariffs, which basically means we're just going to charge a bunch more money.
Yeah, well, the usual way around tariffs is called smuggling. It's the same, you know, that was the whole basis of smuggling was that, you know, you avoid the tax collector.
There's there were two or three companies um that actually opened shops up here and had done that when Trump was president the first time around, but they really started beefing it up right before all the tariffs. So there's some a few places that have stock here, but I don't know how long it's going to last.
Well,
And they have jumped the price up, but not nearly as much as the whole tariff thing. So
well, you have to manufacture them in country to legitimately avoid the tariff.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not sure legitimate and tariff are words that you use in the same sentence, but
Uh, my my understanding was if it was already here in country, you could get away with selling it without the tariff, but anything coming in new would have the tariff. But I don't know if that's true or not. And everybody did seem to bump their prices up some, so who knows? But I would still buy I bought some $2 screens from China not too long ago, and it was still cheaper than what I could find them for here. And even with the tariff, which I wasn't overly thrilled about paying, it was still cheaper to buy it like that than it was. It's just these stupid you know, microcontrollers are insanely priced now when you were getting them relatively cheap, and now you might be better off trying to find one in the States.
well, I think they have to be assembled in country in order to avoid the tariff. I think that's the deal.
So,
Steve, that strip on the bottom of your picture, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's very active right now.
Yeah, I can see it.
he just doesn't know what to do about it.
Use Linux for kill Windows. Okay.
This the
Yeah,
it
probably a good idea.
it's very odd to hear Steve say he's using Windows.
No,
I'm
this
not
is the work laptop. I kind of have to.
I'm not sure if the world is ending or not. Steve is using Windows.
Yes. Some stars are out of alignment, that's for sure.
Yeah,
So
I'm,
you're on a laptop, a Windows laptop right now.
yes, which works fine for work stuff. I use MOBA Xterm to connect into a Linux box at work, and I do everything from that box. I,
Okay.
this has Teams and Outlook and Word and Excel and that whole steaming pile of stuff, and it usually works okay. I don't know. Kind of weird. I open we were having a discussion about moving a bunch of machines at work today that I got called into somehow, and it had to do with Windows boxes. And just out of curiosity, I opened up a command prompt and ran WinVer because I wasn't sure whether I had Windows 10 or 11. Well,
Mm-hmm.
WinVer says I have Windows 11, but command prompt starts out with version 10. I took an image of it and I sent it to them, and I was trying to send that to you, but it's being stupid. Let me try again. I got an idea. This might work. Um, yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Figure that out. I can't.
Zoom Workplace. Zoom Workplace is ready. Ready for what?
That's interesting.
Huh.
And every time I use this machine, I get your connection is unstable, and I have the most stable connection of my life. I was doing some math earlier. I download stuff at the equivalent of about 60 floppy disks per second.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to reboot into Linux. I'll be back.
Okay. Interesting.
So, do you think you need Meshtastic? You don't know why you need it.
Well, I'm trying to figure out just
That's
what it
nice.
would. Hey,
It's
Ray.
Ray.
Hey,
So what time
we're
zone
at
are
the
you?
beach.
What time zone are you in now? Are you frozen up?
They're
No.
They look like they're at a beach.
Well,
Maybe.
they're in some place that has a bunch of ceiling fans. Oh. I see water. I see boats.
We're at Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach.
Oh, okay. So you're in the same time zone, but a little few degrees south latitude wise.
Here, let me get away from all these other people enjoying their dinner. That way I'll talk with you guys a few minutes, and then I'll get back to my family as we all eat.
Your vacation?
So what's the cuisine?
Oh, we're all having something from the shrimp boat. So there's flounder, shrimp, steak, um, scallops, oysters, all that fun stuff.
Oh
But
boy. Sounds delicious.
you guys an idea of
Oh yeah.
we're on the docks eating outside. Uh, I'm sure that our food is coming from these waters, or I don't know.
Somewhere reasonably close.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you never know.
Now, do they have crayfish there?
Oh yeah, I'm sure they do. Get you guys a little bit better view. We went out on jet skis day before yesterday. Had an absolute blast. We were out on the ocean for about 2 hours. We were with dolphins, one of the shrimp boats, and it was a real joy. Me and my son, both my daughters were out on the ocean. We had a tour guide with us, and a
Nice.
bit out there on some big jet skis, and it was a lot of fun.
Cool.
But anyway, I wanted to step in today just for a little while and say hi. Um,
Okay.
I am working on my Halloween project, so I've got some things going on. I believe it's going to be run with Arduino or Arduino Vega. Trying to throw as many sensors as I can into it just for fun. Some switches, buttons, lights. I'm going to put a QR code, not a QR code, a room cart. I'm printing up 3D skulls. Got some other plans to do in my woodworking shop. So there's my little taste of what I'd like to do, but it's right now it's all still in theory. It's I'm still ordering parts and stuff. So hoping that I can get things ordered and arrive on time in order for me to get everything done. Right now I've got some random pieces here and there, some PIR sensors from this kit and that kit, but I want all my PIR sensors to look the same because it's all going to be in one big kit. Got to get my MP3 player working with the Arduino, so got to work on that. But I got some plans, got some things I want to do. So
Great.
giving you guys maybe a little bit of a challenge is let's see if we can do a lot of stuff, do some cool stuff.
Here you go, Ray. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, it's a glowing pumpkin.
Well, it's actually fading, but the camera's not picking it up
Oh, I
real
see it
well.
fading. Yeah.
So it's kind of, sort of ish.
So it pulses then?
Yes.
The light pulses?
And it twinkles. So it kind of looks like a candle.
Okay.
Kind of. And this is my current pumpkin patch.
Those are all 3D printed?
Those are all 3D printed.
Are they
Dang.
solid or are they hollow?
Hollow.
No. No and yes. These 5 back here, all will have LEDs in them. So they're hollow. These are all solid. Well, infill solid. Yeah. Not solid, but they are various sizes and obviously 3 colors.
Cool.
So this is my pumpkin patch. This one it's got the PIR sensor for the nose. So when it gets triggered, it will scream or yell or whatever and start flashing a bunch of colors. The 2 orange ones, well, actually all 4 of them will kind of have candle effects to them. But I think the 2 orange ones look better. The candle effects actually work better with the orange. So I may end up reprinting, getting rid of the translucence and reprinting just orange.
Oh, cool.
And then a little printed base to set them on. And right now they're being controlled by a ESP32, but I'm probably going to change that.
Time.
Do what?
You have too much free time.
I don't know about that either, Ray.
You've gotten this far already. You got too much free time.
But there's so I changed. I had a 25 matrix, a 25 neopixel matrix, and it was a small matrix. I changed it out for 7 neopixels that are larger, and it looks better. So
was the other one just too bright?
The other one was not right. I'll just say it wasn't right. It wasn't too bright and it wasn't too dim. It just wasn't right. This one actually looks right. The camera doesn't do it justice. I mean, you've really got to see it in person to really get the flame effect or the candle effect of it. The camera just sees it all as being bright, and it's not really bright. If that makes sense.
Guys, I'm gonna get back to my family, my dinner. We decided on early dinner, early shopping, and just go chill out at the hotel later. But
All right.
I am with you in spirit. Sorry I can't spend more time.
I understand.
All right.
We'll
I'll talk
see.
to you guys later.
We'll see you
Have
later.
a good dinner.
Yes, sir.
So what's going on, Mr. Vicente?
Hi,
How you doing?
great. I'm just arriving at home. A lot of traffic.
Right.
Where were you coming from?
From Mason. I was avoiding the 275 via Kentucky. It's
Oh yeah.
impossible. So I came for the green paths, following the GPS, trying to reach home. That's all. It's a bad hour to be out in this between 3 and 6 p.m. It's crazy. It's too much traffic.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. It's too much traffic.
Yeah.
I'm not sure anybody in Ohio knows what real traffic is like. Real
Yeah,
traffic is when you
Yeah.
sit in the same spot in the road
Yeah.
for 15 minutes at a time.
I've been driving in New York in the same block for 2 hours.
Yeah.
No one moves there. It's crazy.
And I've told you about my adventure going to LA,
Mhm.
and I was just
Also,
ready to go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
LA is crazy also.
I am not a
But
fan.
LA has the express line, If you are more than two in the car, you can go faster.
Yeah.
And we always are more than two in the car in LA, so we take advantage of the fast track. But anyway, there is a hell of cars everywhere.
That's traffic is why I don't like going to Cincinnati. And yes, I'm well aware that it is nowhere near as bad as LA or New York, but I just don't like going down there.
Yeah.
So
So I wonder what happened to Steve.
well, he said he had to reboot. Maybe it's taking him longer to reboot.
Well, he may have gone to a Linux box and just ditched the Windows box. Or
He
Windows.
needs Windows.
Windows was causing him all kinds of problems.
Yeah, certainly he was screwing up the video for some reason or another.
Oh, here he comes. Let me lay him back.
Is he coming back in again?
He's coming back.
Okay.
He missed the pumpkin patch, but that's all right.
Hey, Steve.
Hello.
He missed Ray.
You on a different box now?
Yeah. Yeah, I went from a 12th gen i9 to a 8th gen i7. Honest to God, this i7 just runs circles around my
You are downgrade.
Nice. Your printer's been busy.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And it's
So those smaller ones are all solid?
more, I mean, they've got infill in them, but yeah. Yeah.
How
So,
long does it take to print one of those?
I printed them in batches of 6 at a time, and it
Oh,
took,
so you do multiples. You don't do one at a time.
oh, not for these. It took just under 3 hours to do 6 of them. Took just like right at 2.5 hours to do 2 of the big pumpkins.
Uh-huh.
So there's 12 little pumpkins, or there should be 12 little pumpkins, and there's 6, yeah, 6 6 medium-sized pumpkins, and then there's the big transparent pumpkins, which those took right at 4 hours a piece to do. And I can only do one at a time with those. Those take up pretty much the whole bed.
How many reels did you use?
So I'm on my second reel now. But my first reel wasn't full, so I didn't use an entire reel.
Now the green ones are done separate. The green spots are done separately.
Right, correct. So, my Cobra 3 has the ability to change colors. So you can see probably, hopefully, the stems are brown,
Yeah.
and there's a little green, we'll call it a leaf. I don't really know what it is, and then
Yeah.
orange. So it prints all this right up to right around here, and then it starts switching out. So it starts printing orange, green, orange, green, orange, green. Then it gets a little bit further and it switches to brown, and then brown just all the way up. So
Cool.
it it didn't use a whole lot of filament really for the switches or anything. But yeah, I've got, well, this one here with the black eyes, I printed that years ago with my really old printer. That took over 12 hours to print. And it's actually the better of prints. My Cobra really didn't do this model justice. But it's good enough for what I want to do. The Cobra, like I said, it takes right at 4 hours. So, there's what is that, 16 hours worth of print in those 4 pumpkins. And then however long it took to print those. So yes, my printer has been busy. My printer is, and to top it off, you can't see it. My printer is, I upscaled the small one again to even a bigger one, and it's currently printing 2 of those right now. And the heck of the thing is I showed my sister this picture, and my sister said, "Oh, that's great. Can I have some?"
Yeah, I would think that you would wait until after Halloween to show up.
Yes, I'm under obligation now. She bought a roll of filament, so now I get to print her pumpkins. We decided when I'm printing her pumpkins, she doesn't want any of the transparent ones or the clear ones. So she doesn't want any of the really big ones, so it shouldn't be too bad. She just wants a bunch of the medium-sized ones, really. So it really shouldn't be too bad to print. But yes, I guess I've been busy, and I've been figuring out, what I need for lighting and all that fun stuff. Little dab of hot glue down there to hold it into place so that I get a consistent light off of it. I'm still considering trying to stick that inside the case, but I don't think that one's going to fit. I think I'm going to have to find something smaller to fit in there. But so I've got 4 of those that I need to wire up and get the code going and everything. And then hopefully I could actually make them talk to each other. Because they're all going to have ESP32s. So when the one gets triggered, it could tell the others to do something other than candle effects. At least that's what I'm thinking at this point. We'll see how well that works.
Well, you've got 19 days to go.
I think I made some progress.
Yep.
Certainly made some progress since last week. I did something silly, which everybody's going to go, yes, that was silly. There was an online auction, and at the last second, I bid $12 on a computer that I don't really need.
This is a laptop or a desktop or what?
An all-in-one machine. So,
So
I
did you get it
yes,
for
yes.
$12?
Well, 15 by the time you got tax and all that. So yes,
Shipping.
there was no shipping. I had to go down to this morning and pick it up, and it was
Okay.
clear down in Harrison, which I thought was a whole lot closer than it is.
Oh yeah, Harrison's. Yeah, that's a trip for you.
That was a trip. Yeah.
Okay, what did you get?
Uh,
HP or Dell?
it's an HP. It's old. It's a Ryzen 3. They had no specs on it. They basically said that we think it doesn't work. I got it home. It had Windows 8, brand new install of Windows 8. Doesn't even really look like whoever owned it before never took the plastic off the camera. It never looks like the camera came out of the thing at all. They probably didn't even know it had a camera. But somebody had wiped it out and put and restored it. I got the restore CDs for it. I got pretty much everything that came with a really not a great Logitech keyboard, but a pretty nice Logitech keyboard. It's not a mechanical one, unfortunately. But
But it's a touch screen?
it is a touchscreen,
How big?
24-inch. At least I think it's supposed to be a touchscreen. I didn't try the touchscreen.
And you paid how much for this?
$12.
Um,
It's got 8 gigs of RAM and a 512 M2 drive in it. Whatever that is.
NMV.
MMV.
NVMe.
Yeah, that one. It was
That was a
supposed,
pretty good deal, actually.
well,
Yeah,
when
That's
I,
newer than the one I gave you. If it's
yeah,
got NVMe,
when I looked up the specs, when I tried to find the specs for it, everything kept saying that it had a 1 terabyte. And I was like, okay. But when I got it, it had a 512. And I'm like, I'm a little disappointed, but I'm not going to argue because $15 is a fairly good price.
Yeah, I would say. So
The the 45-minute trip was
where is this Harrison place?
Harrison, Ohio is
if you're headed to Indianapolis from Cincinnati, you go out
yeah,
to 74. It's on 74 at the Ohio-Indiana state line.
it's it's right next to Indiana. And it's not too far from Kentucky, right? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it's
it's like
six
right there.
miles north. No, not even that.
It's like right there. If you go 275 around the west loop, um, where you almost get to Louis, Lawrenceburg,
Lawrenceburg.
and almost Kentucky, that where 275 meets all three states. It's pretty much right there. So
This is a private
yeah,
individual.
it was they've got an auction house, and I've seen them sell a few things before. I never decided to bid on anything, and I saw this and I was like, I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this. Click, I bought it. Damn it.
Yep.
So I kept Patty was standing next to me when I did it. I'm like, I don't need this. I don't need this. You're going to buy it though, aren't you? Yeah, probably.
So this is an auction house. This wasn't eBay or something like that.
No. No, they're using an online service called highbid.com, and every week they put stuff out for auction. And now that I know where they are, I'm don't know if I'm going to bid on any more of their stuff unless it's dirt cheap. But they do general consignments and other stuff from people, and there is absolutely nothing around when you get out there to Harrison. It's farm country, kind of.
So what is this? A big barn that they have that has all this stuff in it?
Yep, I wasn't sure what to expect. I got out there and there's a farmhouse in the front and a big barn in the back, and it says auction and points towards the barn. And I'm like, okay, auction pickup and points towards the barn. And I'm like, okay. But
So
yeah,
what's the name of this place?
I would have to look again.
Bob's Auction House.
Bid, bid, bid to win or something like that. It's a play on word kind of thing. Um, but they don't always have electronics. It's just a few times that I have looked at their stuff. There's been electronics and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, it's
Well, they auction off other things like
they
farm
auction off
equipment.
they auction off all kinds of stuff. They, like I said, they've got consignment, so probably just this computer probably came from somebody that was a consigner. So they probably charged 30%, and the guy who sold the computer probably didn't make anything at all off of it. But let's see.
So you set it up and run it, or what?
So we got it home, and because they kept saying, they said that it was untested and probably didn't work or whatever. So I was like, oh, I'm curious. So I plugged it in right before the auction, or right before the meeting. We got back home, and we went down there. We went to Micro Center and got another roll of filament for my sister, and went to Harrison and got the computer and got lunch and all that fun stuff. So we got home. I set it up. I went, oh, wow, they've reset it back to factory. So, it popped up and wanted me to type all this stuff in. And I'm like, screw it. I'm not doing that. I don't care about Windows 8. I don't want Windows 8. I don't need Windows 8. So I just booted up Linux Mint install, and it installed everything it needed to install in about 15 minutes, probably less than that. And then I went ahead and did the upgrade to 22.3, and that didn't take very long at all. And
22.3 or .2?
dot three. We're on 3, aren't we? .2, whatever. Dot 2.
I think we're only on 2. I don't think
We're on 2.
3 is.
We're on 2. I'm jumping the gun because I know .3 is coming soon-ish.
Okay.
So it's just, I knew when I bought it that it was a Ryzen 3, and I knew that it was an older machine, but I'm actually kind of impressed with just how fast it actually was, because I was expecting it to be a little on the slow side. Hi.
NVMe
No
is good
peanuts?
stuff.
No peanuts?
No.
Was it
Actually-
Johnson Auctioneers?
No.
Actually, there are peanuts here.
The only other one I'm seeing in Harrison is Compass Auctions and Real Estate.
Yeah, they've already passed bids. Let's go there. Beyond the Door Auctions. They may not have anything, since today was pickup. They may have to reload for a new auction. But it's called Beyond the Door Auctions.
Beyond the door.
Beyond the Door. And there it is, with my big old winning bid.
Oh, that's a pretty decent Logitech keyboard.
Yeah. It was worth
keyboard was worth the
$12 for the keyboard. And it uses
Nice.
one of those dongles that is a universal dongle.
Which they sell those at Micro Center for $14 a piece, just for the dongle.
Just for the dongle.
Yep.
But I was going off of this because there's no model number, there's no nothing. So
What size is the screen?
24-inch.
Okay.
It's probably a CD writer.
Yeah, it's a CD writer. Like you said, the keyboard was probably worth it, even though it's a membrane keyboard.
It seems to have a spare power adapter, or is that a little tiny set of speakers?
It's a little teeny tiny set of speakers.
Huh.
Yeah, that's kind of what I said too.
I think I'd glue them to the back of the monitor case on those angles so they bounce off the wall.
That's really the only, I'm not sure what that is that's on there, but that's really the only thing that's noticeably wrong. There's a couple of little scuffs, but there's not really anything bad about it. Little tiny speakers and an HP keyboard or an HP mouse, which I kind of went, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah, they're reliable. They don't feel great. They don't feel awful.
Well,
They're just very medium mice.
that's why I mean, okay, it's fine. But
If it's a touch screen on top of it, you could, in theory, check the mouse.
yeah, yeah. I should have checked that because the specs that I found may not be the right one because, like I said, it's got a 512 in it, but all the specs for it said that it had a 1 terabyte drive. And everything that I saw said that it was a touchscreen, but it may not be. Wait, Patty's doing something. Hang on. Let me see what Patty wants. I'm back. Sorry about that. But there is a auction why isn't it in my watch list? Oh, there it is. There's an auction happening close to Indianapolis, in a couple of days. That says Lawrence.
Now, what is this? More electronic stuff? More
It's-
computer stuff?
The one in Indianapolis or near Indianapolis has 3D printers. And they are currently sitting at like $2 a piece.
Oh, really?
It's
Yeah,
got
but
like
the real price never comes up until the last 30 seconds. So,
well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's got like 10 days left. So, and we've got an R2D2, so I could be like Vicente.
Yeah, looks like.
Yeah, I don't think it's as nice as the one you got.
I think it's the same one or no?
No, I don't think it's the same one. And there's an Ender in a box. Which I do not
The
need.
box looks like it's had 10 printers in it, but the printer looks unused.
Right. I know.
What the heck? That looks like a weed box with the Mylar on the inside.
It looks like something other than a print box. Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know. But that's an Ender 3,
Yeah,
I think.
looks like it. Yeah,
And,
with
and
the aftermarket knobs on it.
yeah. And some 3D printed uh extras. And it's got to be in the box for ABS, but doesn't that box look like something that would be for doing SLA prints, maybe?
Maybe.
Um, there's this one that's definitely this is definitely a parts machine. It's missing the print head, I think. There's definitely something missing.
Ooh,
Yeah. I thought about maybe if I actually win something and I have to drive 100 miles, it might be worth picking up for $1. And there's this stuff, which is a bunch of filament, but there's a couple of dryers and some sort of oven. And I don't know what that is, a fume extractor for something. But I don't know how much filament is actually there because it looks like it's all been used. And I don't know what that is. Hotbed printer prep. But I don't know what that is.
Looks like a dropper bottle.
Yeah. And some nylon, some other stuff that's not in bags. The filament dryers might be worth something. And the oven might be worth something.
no,
No.
that's an oven you can pick up at Dollar General. That's a
Oh,
$12 oven.
okay. That's just a toaster, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Unless they've modified it to do something. But see,
What the heck? There's an auction place right down the street from me. Oh, vehicle auction
from me or from you?
from me, like within a quarter mile.
Cool. There's a local auction house here in Franklin, um, that I buy stuff. He just sells all kinds of miscellaneous stuff. Patty usually finds craft stuff from him, so we buy a lot of craft stuff from him. And then, of course, Odessa is just down the road, not too far. Odessa Auto Auction. But Patty was laughing at me today because I bought this computer, and a couple weeks ago we went to Miami University auction, and she said, "Are you getting back into auctions? Please don't get back into going to auctions."
So what's the Miami University auction?
Um, this past one was just a bunch of stuff, but I ended up finding 4 NUCs, Intel NUCs, um in a box, and got all 4 of them for $16. No, $15. Um, they were buried in this box of Crestron equipment that when I powered up these things, they looked like they probably were used as some sort of kiosk. They booted right up to Windows and went right to it, tried to go right to a website, which doesn't exist anymore. So they probably were being used as a kiosk. Um, they were all i5s with 256 gig SSDs and 8 gigs of RAM. I didn't get the power supply. I got a power supply from Ray. But for $15. You cannot buy an Intel NUC for less than like a couple of hundred. So it was a heck of a deal. And of course, I put Linux on them almost instantly. I mean, as soon as I saw what they were, I was like, "Yep, that's getting Linux." Um, but this past auction was just a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. A lot of projects, student projects that have gotten left, and they wait for a while and then they sell it off. They had a couple of 3D printers, which went for way too much money considering how old those printers were. And they had some old CRT O-scopes, which went for way, way too much money. I wish I had a stack of O-scopes because this guy bought all of them and paid like 65 to $70 a piece for them. And I'm like, I couldn't give the stupid things away when I had one. So I wish I knew that guy. Um, but I think the best thing was the thing that nobody knew was in that box was those nooks. So they have Miami University every 6 months?
Yeah.
Every 6 months or so they have a miscellaneous sale, and then every year they have a big bicycle and vehicle sale. And it's all the vehicles are owned by Miami University, but the bicycles are all things that students have left behind. And there's usually hundreds, and some of those bicycles are thousands of dollars worth of bicycle. I mean, why would you leave some of that stuff behind? I have no idea, but
Because you're a rich kid and you can, daddy will buy you another one.
Yeah,
oh, what?
sometimes there are cars at that auction. They get a car while they're here and they can't. So there are a lot of overseas students in Miami and they can't take it back with them. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Well,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
and there are a lot of just they buy the bicycles or whatever for class because Oxford's not a big area or whatever. They could just ride between buildings and ride downtown to get food and ride to their dorm. They don't need a car, but when they move and when they leave, they probably don't need a bicycle. So they'll just leave them behind.
up until fairly recently, freshman and sophomore students weren't even allowed to have a car, at least not on campus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those were the good old
I
days.
I knew that they had restricted usage at some point, but Miami University auctions used to be like a huge, huge deal. Um, what they're doing now is a whole lot smaller. I mean, and they're instead of doing it all at Miami University, which they used to do, they used to have it 2 or 3 rings of auctioneers going, and the entire gymnasium would be filled, and part of an outbuilding would be full of stuff. And now they're taking it all up to an auction house there in somewhere,
Liberty.
And that auctioneer is selling the stuff from an auction house. he sold the cars and the bicycles there at Miami University, but the miscellaneous stuff is all transported up to that auction house now. Um, it used to be you could go to Miami University, they would get more funding or something, so they would get rid of stuff that was, you know, a couple of years old but still very relevant, and they would buy new stuff, or they would get rid of a bunch of laptops, or they would get rid of desktop machines, or just, good stuff. And there would be some student projects and some miscellaneous stuff, but it was a huge auction and it would last all days, and sometimes it would be a 2-day auction. And most of the time it was a 2-day auction. Most of the time it was come this day and then come back the next day to buy gymnasium equipment or something. But it was a huge deal. And now it seems like the past few auctions have been less about finding good stuff that Miami is getting rid of and a whole lot more student project stuff. There's still a little bit of a mix, but it really, a lot of the stuff that was at this auction this past couple weeks ago was project stuff. I mean, it was electronics students putting stuff together, and there was a box that had some Arduinos in it. And I'm like, well, if it goes cheap enough, it would be worth it. But then again, I just gave away a bunch of Arduinos. So why do I need another box of Arduinos? It didn't go cheap enough anyway, but and Ray was there, and Ray even said, well, if that box goes cheap enough, that would be a more, good giveaway stuff. Just, buy a expensive laser machine, learn how to program Arduino. Here you go. But Ray was kind of like, he's got hundreds of Arduinos from when he had the robots, so he didn't need them either. But digging down through the boxes seemed like it was key, because the auctioneers don't know what any of this stuff was. They didn't pair any of the video conferencing stuff together. They just brought it out to a table and sold it. And the guy who bought all the video conferencing stuff didn't get a complete system because I got part of it. So, if the auctioneer knew what any of this stuff was, he would have put all the video conferencing stuff together and then pulled the NUCs out and sold them separate. And I guarantee he would have gotten more than $15 for those NUCs.
But then you wouldn't have gotten a great deal.
But then I'm not going to tell him. I mean, I'm not a fool. But if he knew what he was doing, from his client perspective, they should want the most they could get out of stuff. So he should know what he's doing. At least that's how I see it. If I was the client, I would have been upset that he sold a bunch of NUCs for a little bit of nothing. I mean, I didn't even pay for one NUC. If you look up that specific,
you didn't pay for one power supply.
I didn't pay for one power supply. If you look up that specific NUC, I wasn't even a tenth of it. Those stupid things bring some good money.
Now, all of this stuff comes from the university, or are there other?
Well,
pla-
yes, it's all university stuff, but like I said, some of it's student projects that get left. Some of it is stuff that gets left in the dorms after the students leave. So it's, I guess at some point it all becomes Miami University property. It's all sold by Miami University. Um, I'm not sure. Steve might know. I'm not sure what kind of deal they've got with students leaving stuff behind, and I'm sure after a certain period they just assume that it's abandoned and sell it. So,
Yep.
you know, but that's yeah, I started going to auctions again, and Patty's like, "Are you going to auctions?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm actually having fun. I'm getting stuff I don't need."
Everybody needs toys.
Another so H high bid is good for online auctions, and another website is auctionzip.com that they they have online auctions as well, but they also will advertise in-person auctions. So like here is Germantown, Ohio. It's a consignment auction, and here's all the junk that they're selling, or a lot of the junk they're selling. Do not.
Ooh, I could use that 100-gallon propane tank.
When is this auction? It's on Saturday the 20th.
I think I'm gonna miss that one.
I was just using it as an example. I didn't know there would be anything that anybody needs. Here you go. Anybody need a Aquas? Aquaris? Big TV?
That should be a pretty good one. They've got the yellow LEDs as well, I think.
AQUOS.
Yeah, see the 4 dots? Red,
Yeah,
green, yellow, and blue?
yeah.
Or does it? Yeah, it looks like
R
4.
RGB yellow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
RGBY. That was a $2,000 TV new.
That might be worth going to see. Patty, Patty would be like, "Why did you buy a TV? We don't need a TV." Winnebago. Anybody need a Winnebago? I certainly don't need one. I gave the last one I had to Steve. Old slot
Oh, that's
machine.
nice. That is very nice. So,
What
okay,
is that? Like a one-armed bandit?
yep,
Looks like it.
that is an old mechanical slot machine. It has individually adjustable clutches on each of the reels. And if you're standing in front of it and you look down in front of reels 1 and 3, there are counters that tell how many pulls there have been on the arm and how many payouts there have been. So you can divide pulls by payouts and find out what the percentage of payout is. When I worked in Vegas, they were just starting to get electronic stuff in, but I was a slot machine mechanic. I used to go around and reset those, and we were required to have at least one machine that paid out 100%. And so we tried to keep those reels as high as possible because everybody knew what they were and how they worked. It was a lot of fun. But we'd always move the one that was paying out well. It's a cute little stove too.
That's
That's
the
very small.
that's the draw. That's the draw to get you into the casino. One of them always
Mhm.
pays out.
Yep. And honestly, none of them were too bad. I have zero trust for the new all electronic ones. There's no way for the customer to know whether they're set for a 90% payout or a 30% payout.
Aren't there some legal restrictions on what the payout's got to be?
In Vegas, but I don't think there are around here. I know
Oh,
Miami Valley is awful. I used to go to Slots of Fun every weekend with $20 worth of nickels, and they would just feed me hot dogs and champagne as long as I had money on nickel slots. And I could spend all day there on $20 worth of nickels. You can't do that at anything local.
I know when I drove the cab for a while, we always had one client that would go over to the boat in Lawrenceburg. And my boss would tell me, he said, this guy's going to pay for you to stay, and he's probably going to hand you $100 and tell you to go play. And I always walked out of there with less money than I went in with.
Yep, the best thing you could have done was pocket that $100.
The first time he did it, I tried that, and he got so upset that I wasn't going to play any of the games. So I said, well, yeah, he's spending the cash. I might as well have the fun, and just if I get something, I get something. If I don't, I don't. It's not my money. So, but it was very rare that I actually walked out of there with money. Well, with money that I shouldn't have had. I almost always lost his $100 relatively quickly. But he would stay there for hours and hours, and he paid for the cab for the entire time. He paid for food. He paid for the whole 9 yards, and I'm like, yeah, I mean that was a heck of a deal for somebody, because you could um I was typically making between 150 and $200 a night, and by the time he was done, I was bringing home close to four. I, just because I didn't have to do anything, and if I did actually win at one of the tables, I was bringing more home. Oh, that's cheap. That's too cheap. What's wrong with it?
Nothing. That's what I'm sitting at right now. But I didn't notice. Does it have a power supply? You're right. That is kind of cheap. Doesn't show one.
It doesn't show a power supply. No hard drive, no OS. Hard drive's easy. OS is easy. Power supply
Power supply is pretty easy too.
is easy.
19 volts at 5 amps.
Yeah.
And one of the nice things about the Nook is it's just a power supply. It doesn't communicate with it like Dell stuff does. So as long as it powers on, it's happy.
Yeah. Well, I'm using just a generic universal that Ray had, and it didn't care. It's okay.
Now,
Those Those nuts
Just to
are
put this into perspective, I bought one of these things new in 2017, maybe 2018, but I think 2016 is definitely possible. And it was $600.
yeah.
And these should be 12 bucks a piece now. I don't understand why computers are so freaking expensive right now. I used to go through Walmart and look at the laptops they had, and they had stuff starting at $100. And now the cheapest thing at Walmart is $350, and that's not a laptop you would want. And if
Well-
you're looking at a laptop that you want, you're going to be spending $1,000.
I'm pretty sure this white computer this white HP was a Walmart computer.
It could be.
I'm pretty sure Walmart was selling that thing. Okay. Well, there is one for 85 of the ones that I got. That's not horrible. It's got more RAM. Nope. Yep, more RAM.
I'm pretty sure I've got quite a bit of memory for these things. They're DDR4 sodium chips.
Well, like I said, Miami University did not cheap out on the memory. I mean, yeah, it's only 8 gigs, but it's crucial. It's some good memory. They did not cheap out on that stuff. Look, they start climbing. They start climbing in price.
Good grief. An i5 and they want $500 for it with no power cord.
With no power cord.
And it says it's a great price.
That's
What
a great price. This
it's an 8th gen i5.
8th. That's exactly what I got, was an 8th gen i5.
The Nook 8s are all 8th gen Intel. They had a Nook 7, Nook 6. Or maybe Nook 7. Do they skip? No, there's 7th gen.
A couple weeks ago when I looked, there were people that were selling groups of them. Stacks of them, exactly how I bought them, with either no RAM or no hard drive or both, and they were getting 500 plus bucks for a stack of them. And I was like, I didn't pay anywhere close to that, so I know I got a good deal. And when you looked at the completed item list, they were getting that for them. I don't know what they were shoving inside of them. Maybe they were shoving something inside of them. But I'm shocked at what those Nucks. I'm not shocked about what they cost when they were new. I'm shocked that they've held their value up as well as they have.
Here's a curious thing. One generation older, a little smaller. It looks like a fun thing to stick in a car. Oh, 9 people have them in their cars.
For $100. A Nuck with a huge heat sink around it.
I don't think that's made by Intel. I'm not even sure that it's really a Nook. I've never seen one of those before.
It's an i3, according to the picture. 16 gigs of RAM. It says it's a Nook. That doesn't look like a Nook. Could that be some weird custom thing that like the cops or somebody made for or had them make for like a car fooder?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. That's wild. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it.
But as tiny PCs go, the Nook is surprisingly good.
This is going to be my car pooter. The Wise terminal. It just hasn't made it yet. It hasn't made it to the car. I've been printing pumpkins too much. I haven't printed my holder for it to get it into the car. But these are cheap. These are cheap too. These are under $30 most of the time. You know, that Nook, it's got a serial port and 2 antennas on it. I bet this was some custom thing that for the cops or jumping down a rabbit hole that I don't need to jump down. So, anybody got anything? Anything else?
As I told you, Leroy, I have a new all-in-one Dell computer.
Yeah.
I use your power supply and with adapter,
Yeah.
and the computer asks that it don't recognize the power supply. So I turn off the alarm of this thing, and it's working. I look for a base because the computer was in a plate in a world. I bought the base, the original base for the computer, and it just arrived an hour ago. I didn't open it. This is the box.
Okay.
It cost me $20 from California. Delivered here.
Right.
Also, is an original part.
Oh, yep.
But it's packaged in the original thing. See,
Yeah.
it's really heavy, and it's a plate for here for the bottom. This is the plate.
If you discover you need any more of those, I can get you many of them.
Yeah. The person that is selling them, they have plenty of them, but they looks new, really new.
Yep.
Yep.
Almost certainly they are. So being the IT guy, whenever would replace a failed monitor, would leave all the cables and everything in place, push the little button on the bottom of the monitor under that mount, pop it off, pop a new one onto the old stand,
Mhm.
and then throw out the old monitor. And now we've got a big box with that stand in it.
Okay.
The stands come in like 4 different varieties in general, depending on the weight of the monitor, because they've got little gas struts in there. And depending on how heavy the monitor is, you get A, B, C, or D. And they work really well. If you pull down on that mounting bracket at the top, you're pulling against that gas strut.
It's really, really heavy.
Yeah.
Really heavy. Wow. Can change the angle.
Oh, that one doesn't go up and down.
No, that one
Huh.
doesn't go up and down.
I found out the hard way about that little button at the bottom
Yeah,
that releases it.
It's fixed.
I was carrying 3 monitors, 2 on one arm, 1 on the other. And I guess I accidentally pushed that little button and it separated. Both pieces fell.
Yeah. This computer can run Windows 11 because it only has 4 cores. So it's running Windows 10. I check how it's going. My plan is to use it with the CNC machine. I was using a Windows 87 Mark III software. My plan is to change that. You need a parallel port printer port to drive the controller box, but you can change the parallel port for an Arduino running GR LB or something, some kind of software to use the control box instead of the all parallel port. So I will try to use this all in one computer to control the CNC router. I'll let you know how it's going next week.
All right. Next week we are virtual again. So,
Okay.
and then the following week, October 2nd, we'll be in person and I'll hopefully have a pumpkin display.
Okay.
Is there anything else I can help you with or anything I can help you with on the pumpkin display?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I know how to get a hold of you. No, at this point, it's probably a bunch of super glue, or not super glue, hot glue and some Arduinos or some ESP32s and just coding and getting it all to talk to each other. So other than printing stuff for my sister, I think I'm done printing pumpkins.
No more dragons.
Oh, I don't even get the grandkids. Mm, mm, it's sharks now. They want
Sharks.
sharks now or
Okay.
snakes. They're driving me nuts. And I
Well,
even do
the 3D printers are making grandpas great again.
Yeah, I 3D printers are getting better and better. When I was down at Micro Center today, picking up more filament, I noticed like 4 people had 3D printers in their carts, and a few people had like a bunch of filament in their carts. So I think we've reached the point where 3D printing has become cheap enough and good enough and fast enough that just everybody can do it.
I may end with a bamboo printer this year with the multicolor one.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it,
Yeah.
the big one. But I
Well,
have no use for it now, but I will figure out something what to
I
do. Well, I will have a granddaughter next month, so
oh,
maybe
cool.
I started something.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
But when I had the dual head printer, I found very little use for 2 color. I mean, almost everything I printed on that thing was a single color.
Unicolor. Oh.
But with the 4-color printer, I'm printing multiple colors all the time. It's amazing.
Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Every color is with a different
Yeah.
reel, you know? It's a multicolor printing.
I like it. But I mean this printer has no problem with TPU. That's green, so that's green, so this green screen thinks it's something else.
Nice. This is an Arduino Nano.
Oh, cool. Benchy.
I like to use this Let's Array to check any sketch. It's nice to control all the pins and see what you can do with them. This is bicolor, and you can choose what's the color of the common. But I usually connect the common to a PW pin, so you can identify one level, high level, low level, or high impedance, off, green, or red. You have the 3 states of each pin. When you switch the common at high speed, you can identify the status of the port, if it's high, low, or is an input with this array, LED array. Each LED is a bicolor LED. Depends on the current direction. You turn on or off the green or the red LED. It's very, very handy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was doing something with this. Let me check. I think this is doing something.
The baby benchy.
Now, I don't know if it's really showing up well or not. It's a steampunk benchy
Yeah.
that I almost dropped. It's highly detailed. There's a lot of detail to it.
Wow, yeah. This is a different one, yeah. Lines and gears.
So the first one I showed you was printed with the SLA printer, and this one was printed with the Cobra. And there is some difference, but it's minor. I mean, it's really, it's amazing what a filament printer can do now.
Yeah. All the printers are increasing the quality without changing the nozzle size. You know, they
Yep.
keep the 0.4 nozzle, and they reach better and better finish. I don't know, software.
It's software. It's how it's all sliced, and you can make little tweaks and little changes in the software to get even better.
It's amazing.
Or you could, if you don't care about speed so much, you can slow everything down and get beautiful print. So, but yeah, I like it, but I have noticed that, back in the day, 3D printing was something that geeks and nerds had, and now just it seems like everybody can do it. They're getting easier and easier, and you just load up the model.
The materials are amazing. Now there are really strong parts, metal-like parts, wood-like parts, nylon parts. Wow.
Well, when I first started 3D printing, PLA was pretty much all you could get, and you could only get like a single color, Now you get PLA that's shiny and
silver, gold, all kind of finish.
and can change colors. This one kind of it's kind of blue and pink,
depending on the light source.
And that was all stuff that was either really, really, really expensive or was unheard of doing. So the technology has definitely come a long, long way. But so, it is, well, it's actually after 7, and
I'm out.
I'm getting hungry. So, we are virtual next week, so hopefully I'll see everybody next week. And
okay,
we'll see everybody later.
Have a good week.
Sounds good. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.